has announced its preferred candidates to chair portfolio committees of the two houses of parliament. The party has assured the nation that the Public Accounts Watchdog, the Standing Committee on Public Accounts, will, in keeping with tradition, still be chaired by an opposition party member. The ANC has been at pains to defend a few nominees who have been described as questionable, some of whom are implicated in state capture. For more on this, we cross live to our reporter in Parliament, Bulelani Phillips. Very good afternoon, very good evening to you, Bulelani. Talk to us about some of those names that appeared on those lists.
Well, good evening to you, Nzinga, and to the viewers. Well, the ANC coming out today to actually clear the air around the names of people that will be deployed to the various committees of Parliament, both in the National Assembly as well as the Second House of Parliament, the National Council of Provinces. Of course, part of the process had to make sure that the reconfigured government departments are in alliance or aligned to Parliament as portfolio committees. And now what we know from this sixth Parliament, we are going to have 6 committees in the NCOP and have about 35 portfolio committees in the National Council of Provinces. Of course, some of the names that have been put forward by the ANC seem to be having some levels of controversy in the past. Of course, one of those is the person who's been nominated to serve in the Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Portfolio Committee, former Communications Minister Faith Muthambi. Of course, you'd know that she's also fingered in those Gupta email leaks, having been a person who's alleged to have leaked cabinet memos. Also, some of the controversial figures, including Mr. Sifiso Buthelezi, who has been a former finance minister in the past administration. Of course, also being fingered in the state capture inquiry around his role at Transnet and Prasa. Of course, the third person that has actually been fingered in state capture commissions of inquiry is a former Mineral Resources Minister, Musebenzi Zwane. Of course, he's tipped in this administration to actually be chairing the Committee on Transport. But of course, the big issue that has been raised with the ANC is whether it will continue to actually keep the tradition of ensuring that the Public Accounts Watchdog, SCOPA, is actually retained by an official opposition party. Of course, the ANC confirming that it's in negotiations with several political opposition parties to ensure that that position is actually given to an opposition party to ensure that there is transparency in government expenditure.
Bulelani, when you speak about some of these names and the implications and allegations around state capture, Magashule coming out and saying that those people have been cleared by the ANC Integrity Commission. Have you had a chance to get some reaction perhaps from opposition parties and other people?
Well, Nzinga, the press conference of the ANC was later this afternoon, and of course we will be trying to solicit the views of the opposition parties once, of course, they've also familiarized themselves with the names of the people who the ANC intends to nominate to serve as chairpersons of portfolio committees. But in the ANC's view, that the issues of the controversial figures that I've just spoken about, the party says that actually all the ANC MPs that have been sworn into Parliament have actually gone through a process of trying to interrogate their integrity. And in the view of the party's Integrity Commission, they felt that the names of the people that have been put forward to Parliament actually meet that test of the integrity. But of course, the issue really that journalists were interested to know about is that some of the figures that we've outlined are people who actually have court cases, perhaps maybe that may come in the near future, and what then would happen if those people are found to have perhaps maybe contravened some of the legislation of the country in relation to corruption. But the ANC is saying that at this juncture, they're going to apply the principle of innocent until proven guilty, and at such time that those people have been found guilty by any competent institution or court of law, then the party would actually kick in the disciplinary processes. But for now, the party maintains that the people that it's deployed are competent people. People will actually carry out the issues of ensuring that they hold the executive accountable.
Bulelani Phillips giving us an update from Parliament there. Thanks so much for your time this evening.